buenas noches. Bienvenidas, bienvenidos. Vamos a dar unos minutos más para que vayan llegando las personas que se registraron para esta noche, que es la última sesión de este ciclo de Alumni Sessions. Sesiones de diálogo preparadas exclusivamente para los ex participantes de nuestro programa, el programa Juntos. Es un placer saludarles. Mi nombre es Marco González. Voy a ser su anfitrión. Bueno, he sido su anfitrión durante todo este ciclo, así que les agradecemos mucho el interés, la compañía, sobre todo la puntualidad, eh, para seguir descubriendo todo lo que Japón tiene para nosotros. Y esta noche llegamos a un tema medioambiental muy importante. Así que cerramos con broche de oro, como decimos por acá, por mi país, que es Paraguay. Así que vamos a dar inicio despacito con la parte introductoria que muchos de ustedes ya conocen, en lo que damos tiempo para que las demás personas se unan. Estas sesiones son grabadas y luego las compartimos en nuestro canal de YouTube, donde pueden encontrar las sesiones que se perdieron o si las quieren volver a vivir, ahí las pueden encontrar. Entonces, como les decía hace rato y como ya saben, vieron en la invitación, hoy es nuestra última sesión. Vamos a hablar de la preservación ambiental con actividades relacionadas en las Islas Galápagos, con la señora Tamakio Uno, de The Japanese Association for Galápagos. Entonces, vamos a darle paso en un momento más para que nos pueda contar y nos pueda mostrar todo lo que tiene para nosotros esta noche. Recuerden que tenemos el botón de interpretación más abajo, así que pueden escuchar la interpretación al español, ya que la ponencia va a ser en inglés, pero también nuestra invitada especial habla español, entonces probablemente mezclemos un poquito esta noche, ya que ya nos conocemos, este es un encuentro ya un poco más íntimo, así que siéntanse libres siempre de participar vía chat. Y bueno, ya en su momento de las preguntas y respuestas pueden abrir sus micrófonos también para comunicarnos. Nos gustaría saber desde dónde se conectan, así que si nos pueden ir compartiendo en sus nombres, en el chat, así también sabemos desde qué parte de América Latina, qué parte del mundo se están uniendo esta noche. Gracias, Andrea, por estar. Andrea de Ecuador. Seguramente va a tener mucho para comentarnos también esta noche como nacional, ¿verdad? A ver cómo nos va en el debate, en el compartir. Bueno, thank you for the people that are joining from Japan. Y gracias, Stephanie, una vez más por tu trabajo desde Guatemala. Entonces vamos despacito en lo que se van uniendo las demás personas para recordar cuál es el impacto que tiene nuestra organización AFS. Más de 100 años de experiencia internacional como organización, creando programas para que las personas de todas las edades participen en una experiencia de intercambio cultural, desarrollen habilidades y destrezas en competencias globales indispensables para el mundo de hoy. ¿Y cómo lo hacemos? A través de herramientas de aprendizaje intercultural desarrolladas por expertos en interculturalidad y educadores de todo el mundo. Ahora, ¿qué es ALEI? Es una poderosa alianza formada por 13 organizaciones AFS que están presentes en 15 países de América Latina. Sin embargo, nuestro impacto es mayor ya que vamos mucho más allá de lo que es son las fronteras que estamos trazando en estos países de América Latina, ya que gracias al programa Juntos llegamos también al Caribe y a otros países donde no está AFS. Así que gracias a Ley estamos expandiendo nuestro territorio y obviamente el impacto de nuestro trabajo. Pero ¿cuál es la misión que tiene la ley? Es la misión de la educación intercultural. La Alianza Latinoamericana de Educación Intercultural promueve principalmente la cooperación para generar proyectos a favor de la formación de ciudadanos globales, como por ejemplo este proyecto que nos vincula esta noche, el programa Juntos, desarrollar oportunidades de capacitación para las audiencias de AFS y otras entidades aliadas, y apoyar entidades transnacionales públicas y privadas en la ejecución de iniciativas a favor de la educación para ciudadanos globales. Así también tenemos oportunidades AFS para adultos jóvenes, como por ejemplo diplomados para desarrollar competencias interculturales, Asamblea de la Juventud, que es un evento anual que tenemos en Nueva York cada agosto, aprendizaje de idiomas, desde programas de movilidad de 2 semanas hasta programas online, y también oportunidades de realizar voluntariado nacional o internacional. Para conocer más de nuestros programas y todo lo que nosotros hacemos, pueden visitar las páginas web de los distintos países que conformamos la ley, así como también la página de AFS Internacional para conocer nuestros programas, ver oportunidades de voluntariado, todo lo que ustedes necesiten saber sobre nuestra organización. Y bueno, ya con esta pequeña introducción que ya inclusive ustedes han de saber de memoria, vamos a dar paso a la última sesión. Como dijimos, es un tema muy importante, un tema que nos interpela, sobre todo pensando en ciudadanía global activa, qué es lo que está pasando con el medio ambiente. Y en este caso vamos a hablar de la preservación ambiental con las actividades relacionadas en las Islas Galápagos. Así que vamos a dar paso a la señora Tamaki Okuno, que es de The Japanese Association for Galápagos. Así que voy a dejar de compartir mi pantalla y vamos a escuchar atentamente lo que la señora Okuno tiene para nosotros esta noche. Así que adelante, por favor, cuando quiera, le escuchamos, señora Okuno.
Ok, gracias. ¿Puedo introducir en español un poco?
Claro.
¿Ya? Ok, mucho gusto. Me llamo Tamaki Okuno. Bueno, yo hablo español, pero bueno, hablo inglés también. Entonces, hoy voy a dar una lectura en inglés desde ahora. ¿Ya? Okay, so let's get started. So I'm going to share. Here we go.
Yes.
Okay, today I hope that my experiences can be of some help to your career. Although our time is a bit short, I'd like to share various stories, my experiences with you. Thank you for having me. The woman in the center of this picture is someone you all know, maybe. Tokyo's most famous woman, Governor Koike. The four people around her are some of the most influential figures in Galapagos conservation, whom I invited from the Galapagos. And I will share later why they came to Tokyo. Okay? So first, let me start with how I came to invite them to Tokyo. Here, this map, of course, shows Latin America, where you all live, I think. I studied abroad in Ecuador through the AFS program from 1992 to 1993. My host family lived in Riobamba, a small city located in central Ecuador, like here. I was placed in the final year of a Christian, very Catholic high school. And Riobamba is a city situated in the Andes Mountains at an altitude of like 3,000 meters. Nearby stand the country's highest mountain at 6,300 meters, which I admired every day on my way to school. This picture showed me introducing Japanese culture, the light one, at this high school I attended. I put yukata, the Japanese, like easy kimono. I wore a uniform like the student on the right, usually. Okay. Then in June 1993, as my graduation and return home approached, a European exchange student in the same town invited me to visit Galapagos. Until that moment, I knew nothing about the Galapagos Island. I never imagined that. I had been too busy adapting to a foreign culture to think about traveling. However, that trip to Galapagos turned out to be a life-changing experience. Yeah, the island was filled with incredible natural beauty. I had always loved nature and science, and I was instantly captivated, fascinated, enchanted by Galapagos. Every day was exciting and full of joy. The naturalist guide who taught me so much, also seemed so cool. When I returned to Japan, I dreamed becoming a guide in Galapagos. So I entered university as a biology major. During a long vacation, I worked on cruise ship in Galapagos, long vacation in university, shadowing guide and learning from them a lot. Yeah. However, in 1998, the Galapagos Special Law was enacted to promote sustainable development, making it impossible for foreigners and even Ecuadorian to migrate or work there. So nobody except the people in the island can work and live there in the island. But still, I wanted to stay connected to Galapagos. So in 2005, I gathered Japanese researchers and conservationists involved in Galapagos studies and established an NGO dedicated primarily to Galapagos conservation. It's called the Japan Association for Galapagos, JAGA. These are the founding member. The light one is me, the Hoven, the young one. Among our members were two researchers who were the first Japanese people, the Japanese researcher to conduct study in Galapagos back in the 1960s. One of them specialized in botany, which led us to focus on supporting vegetation recovery and reforestation project from the very beginning. Locally, we collaborated with the Charles Darwin Foundation, a leading research institute in Galapagos. This is the first organization to start the conservation activities in Galapagos. The plant in this picture, you see it in the green one, called Scalesia. This is an endemic tree, Scalesia. Once formed dense forest. This is the only species that can make the forest in Galapagos, because there are no trees like that in Galapagos. Only species that can make the forest, and originally evolved from the sunflower family. It's a herb, but transformed into a tree after arriving in Galapagos. They evolved a lot. Okay, but due to the impact of invasive species, their original area has been reduced to less than 1%. Okay, I will talk about this Galatia later. Beyond nature conservation, we also paid close attention to social changes in Galapagos. One particular shocking event occurred in 2017 for me. Hundreds of Chinese fishing vessels were illegally fishing around the Galapagos Marine Reserve. And eventually, one ship was captured with thousands of sharks and their fins on board. This triggered public outrage and led to large-scale protests against Chinese ship in the street of Galapagos, like this picture there. You know that the figure of the hammerhead shark at that side. Okay. This triggered public outrage. Yeah. And the picture here shows that moment. I was astonished by what I saw. Why? Because when I first visited Galapagos, local fishermen were the one protested against conservationists. They even threatened, if you don't let us fish, we will kill the giant tortoises. But in 2017, I witnessed the complete shift. Society had changed. And it was young people who led this transformation. It's a very interesting moment for me. Again, here, this strengthens my belief that investing in education is key to improving society. In 2018, two important anniversaries happened. One, the 100th anniversary of Japan-Ecuador diplomatic relations, and 50th anniversary of Ogasawara Island return to Japan from US control. Do you know Ogasawara? I don't think you know, but the Ogasawara Island was designated as a UNESCO's World Natural Heritage Site in 2011. It is isolated oceanic island, same as Galapagos. Okay, and using the budget from this anniversary budget, I proposed and implemented an exchange program between young people from Ogasawara and Galapagos. The goal was to nurture the next generation responsible for conservation. Okay, there we go. 5 junior and high school students from Galapagos spent 2 weeks in Ogasawara and Tokyo. Later, here, 5 students from Ogasawara stayed in Galapagos for 10 days. Both groups had incredible experiences. During their stay, the people from Galapagos, the students from Galapagos, they visited the Tokyo metropolitan government and met the governor, the Koike. That visit led me to propose a new idea to Tokyo officials. Why not establish a formal partnership with local conservation institute in Galapagos? Galapagos had a long history of conservation, and exchange knowledge would greatly benefit Ogasawara. And then here, as a result, in 2019, a signing ceremony was held in Galapagos with a video message from the Tokyo Governor Koike. The agreement was signed with our counterpart, the Charles Lane Foundation and the Tokyo metropolitan government. It's a historic moment that I was there in Galapagos at that time. Here, now let's discuss environmental conservation collaborations. our JAGA, our organization, has been active for 20 years, but we are small and lack abundance funding. No, we don't have much funding, right? I have always seen my role as a connector, linking Galapagos with sources of funding and knowledge. So connecting people and the organization requires a little money, yet it creates powerful impact. So just last week, I returned from Galapagos, where I facilitated a new connection. Ogasawara has a small landmark called the Ogasawara Greenfinch, like this one, this picture that shows Lightman, weighing just about 10 grams, a tiny little landbird. Similarly, Galapagos has a mangrove finch, another endemic landbird in Galapagos. Both species have fewer than 100 individuals left, making them critical and endangered. While Galapagos has decades of conservation experience, Ogasawara is just beginning. So I connected the two conservation efforts using Tokyo's budget to bring Ogasawara researchers to Galapagos. Here I took 10 days ago, the picture. The biggest threat to both birds is invasive species, particularly rats. Rats not only consume the bird's food, but also eat their eggs, chicks, and sometimes even adult birds. One of the islands in Galapagos area spanning 173 square kilometers, here that island, is undergoing a rat eradication program. We visited the site to observe the progress. Here. And after removing the rat and invasive plant, native Scalesia tree began to grow back, restoring the forest. This one here, the green one, is old Scalesia forest. As a result, landbirds returned to their habitat. This is the red one, it's a Vermilion flycatcher, and the right one, I think it's I'm not sure. No, I think the finch there. Yeah. And also at the research station, the South Line Foundation has a research station in Galapagos. And at the research station, we exchange scientific knowledge with local experts. The science, it's not perfect, but it is the best tool we have for conservation. We need science for conservation. This scientific approach to conservation is one of the reasons I love Galapagos, because I love science. Okay, it's a very interesting meeting there. And we also visited the nursery growing Scalesia seedlings. Notice the logo in the picture here. This is the logo of Keidanren. Keidanren is Japan's Federation of Economic Organization. That maybe the Toyota, Sony, Panasonic, all of the major companies in it. Of course, I was the one that connected Keidanren's Nature Conservation Fund with Galapagos. They support this reforestation of Scalesia project with $40,000 annually. And additionally, Japanese log house manufacturer donate over $10,000 annually to this project through our organization. So Japanese contributions are playing a crucial role in restoring Galapagos forest. That's a very proud of that. Okay. Another connecting Galapagos with Ogasawara also benefit environmental policy and management. For example, Galapagos has a strict quarantine system to protect its biodiversity, unique nature. The flight to Galapagos undergo fumigation. Pesticides are sprayed on the exteriorly, inside car, containers, and even on passengers carrying luggage, like here. Can I? Oh, can you see?
Yes.
Okay, this is really interesting, right? This is done to prevent invasive species from disrupting the delicate ecosystem. There is no quarantine system in Ogasawara, so many invasive species have entered the island, causing big damage to the ecosystem, to the unique ecosystem, right? And here, even between islands in Galapagos, strict quarantine measures are in place, like this picture. Inspector use X-ray machine and specially trained dog to check luggage for organic materials. Because invasive species have caused severe ecological damage in the past, they are now taking every precaution to prevent further harm. And however, Ogasawara has almost no quarantine system in place. So since Tokyo Metropolitan Government officials joined this study tour too, this time, last week, they found this system is very informative, very useful, and maybe Ogasawara will apply for it. And another informative things that this is the airport in Galapagos. They have two airports from the mainland Ecuador in Galapagos. And every visitor must pay an entrance fee to the island when arriving on the island. For foreign adult, the fee is $200 per person. And these funds are entirely used for conservation and infrastructure development in Galapagos. The more visitors come, the more funding becomes available for conservation. It's a good system. And since Ecuador's central government does not have a large budget for conservation of nature like Japan, this self-sustaining funding model is essential for conservation in developing countries. Even for Japan, where conservation budgets are not always sufficient, this system could serve as a useful reference. Yeah. And another example of connecting resources is environmental education. In Galapagos, environmental education for children is taken very seriously, but with fun, of course. Since migration to Galapagos is restricted, the local people must take on the responsibility of conservation to protect the island. That rising the next generation of conservation leaders is a top priority. And they have environmental education time hours for 200 hours yearly. It's right. And we partnered with a group of young Galapagos photographers who document their ecosystem, who take a picture of the nature in Galapagos. And each year they provide pictures, many good pictures for our annual calendar. And part of the sales revenue is donated to support their activity. We donate them to their activities. It's in like circles. Yeah. And next I connected here Galapagos coffee with Japan. I connected with Japan. Coffee production in Galapagos is now being imported. The coffee is imported into Japan, and we are expanding its distribution in cafes and retail store. Not much, not plenty of the coffee distributed, but it's small quantity, but a good one. The quality is not a good one. A portion of the sale revenue is returned to Galapagos coffee farmers who use it to plant Scalesia tree as a shade tree for their coffee plant. You know, he is the coffee farmer, and he is from Ogasawara, a researcher for the Ogasawara Greenfinch. And he has a coffee farmer friend in Ogasawara, so I connected them. And also, the shade. Do you know the shade tree for coffee? Shade tree protect the coffee plant from excessive sunlight, which enhances coffee bean quality. Using native Scalesia, the endemic Scalesia tree as shade tree, also promote forest reforestation. So if the coffee sells well, and the tree, they plant a tree, Scalesia tree a lot, This is the cycle of this program, that this creates a sustainable cycle of conservation and commerce. The businesses, it's a kind of social business. If you take a cup of coffee in Japan, the donation goes to our organization, and we support the conservation and reforestation of National Park and Chaldine Foundation. And then the Scalesia forest grow, and then the shade tree, they support the production of the coffee. And then that coffee comes to Japan, and it's a cycle. Okay. And then next, connecting Japanese technology with Galapagos community. I worked on connecting Japan's advanced technology with Galapagos. In 2023, I arranged for 4 Galapagos conservation officials to visit Ogasawara. They presented information of Galapagos that in conservation they are advanced, and Ogasawara people are very interested in this presentation. But one of the places I took them was a recycling center and the waste incineration facility in Ogasawara. This is a picture that when they visited. The right one, this one is a recycling center, and the left one, and right one is an incineration facility. Okay. Unfortunately, Galapagos has no waste incineration plant. With 30,000 residents and 300,000 tourists annually, non-recyclable waste continue to accumulate on the island. Hoping to find a solution, I took them to visit Galapagos facilities. Of course, this was funded by the Tokyo Metropolitan Government, the fee that I invited, right? Since Tokyo has gained so much conservation knowledge from Galapagos for protecting the Ogasawara greenfinch, it was a way to give something back in return. So this in Galapagos, no incineration, and the situation is like that. It's not good. And this is one of the solutions to explore further possibilities. I reached out to Keidanren, the Japanese Federation of the economic organizations. And they had a lot of connection in between companies. So, and I got material from a major Japanese company that built waste to energy incineration plant. This is it's called Canadevia. The company's name is Canadevia. And this system is already common in Japan, but does not yet exist in Ecuador. So you collect the waste, and then they burn it, and they generate the energy. And this system, in addition, in solving waste management issue, it also helps address energy shortage, right? In Ecuador, it's a particular problem recently, the energy shortage. There is even cutting-edge technology that extract hydrogen for use as a clean energy source. And it's just beginning. We started the meeting recently. Now, here's my final example of connecting resources. Do you know G-Shock watches? Yes. They're made by Casio, a Japanese company, Casio. Casio reached out to me expressing their interest in Galapagos. So I visited their headquarters and proposed, let's create a Galapagos edition of G-Shock. And then it comes true. Each model would feature an animal motif. In 2023, they released 3 models here: giant tortoises, finches, and hammerhead shark. They were very popular. And they donated a lot. And then later that year, last year, 2024, Casio launched 2 more models. This time, Galapagos penguin and marine iguana, available worldwide. These models were also well received. Yeah, of course, Casio donated a percentage of the sales of their opinion to the Child Dying Foundation for their conservation activities. So, from a chance connection with Ecuador during my high school days, I've been able to establish many meaningful connections over the year. What I have done may not be big, but connecting people connecting organization and ideas, I have helped create significant impact. These connections benefit not only Galapagos conservation, but also bring positive change to Japan. When we see a huge social issue, big challenges, it can feel overwhelming, making us feel powerless. The power of the one people is very small. Indeed, what we can do as individual may be very small. However, by connecting the strengths of people, organization, nations, we can achieve great things, I think. The key is, I think, continuity. In Japan, we have a saying, proverb, perseverance is power. But it means even small effort we sustained, we can create a tremendous impact. To sustain your effort, it's important to pursue something you love. When you love what you do, you can continue it for a long time. I encourage all of you to find something you love and commit to it for a long run. Finally, I want to say thank you, because I learned from Latin people that I'm not living to protect nature, nor protect Galapagos, nor to make money, of course, but to be happy. You guys are always making that time happy, right? It was a great discovery for me for my Ecuador time for 1 year. So thank you. That's okay.
Gracias, señora Okuno. Thank you again. Vamos a abrir el
Gracias.
espacio, gracias, el espacio de preguntas, respuestas. Estamos
Okay.
pocos, entonces pueden abrir el micrófono. Ya vi que Zoila hizo una pregunta. Zoila, no sé si quieres elaborar más, puedes abrir tu micrófono. Adelante, estamos en confianza.
Hola, English or Spanish?
It's up to
Whichever.
Mrs. Okuno.
Okay.
Hola.
Well, first of all, missing my people from Japan. Seriously, I need to go back to Japan.
Yes.
I seriously need to go. I was, believe me, when I came back to Honduras, I was like, take me back, please, take me back. Okay, I just have one question about, you explained to us about the implemental education that they have been applying for the system you have on this island. My question was if this system or this implementation you have on the island, you already have in all Japan or just on the island?
They have already the good system in Galapagos, because they have a history. You know, they started in 1970s. The Childline Foundation has a strong alert that the education is crucial to establish and conservation to protect the nature in Galapagos. So they have a history of making education good. So and I think the education in Galapagos is very advanced compared to the mainland. But not the high level, but it's sometimes really bilingual, and taking information from Europe and the United States. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And we support it.
Thank
Welcome.
you, thank you. I just have one more question. About the coffee you explained, do you have like an specific procedure for it, for the coffee they are being having on Galapagos? Have you a procedure?
Mhm.
I don't know. Is that my question goes? For example, in my country, in Honduras, one of the main basic foods or we have it's coffee. It's one
Oh,
of the things. It's really on top from Honduras is coffee. When I go back,
mhm.
I'll take some coffee for you too.
Wow, wow.
So I have that question: what's the way you are working with to export coffee or just import
Mhm.
coffee in Japan and Galapagos, or if you have like if there like some implementation for people to know, for the world to know, what are you making with the coffee, how you are working with it, what's the objective of the you're having with it.
Okay. The biggest problem of the production of coffee in Galapagos is the selling. I mean, uh, the people from mainland comes to island, and then they buy it, but they bring to the mainland, and then they mixed with the beans from the mainland, and then they sell as in Galapagos coffee. So the Ecuadorian government make a good system of, how can I say, denominación de origen, que se llama, the denomination of origin, right? And then there are 70, 80 coffee farmers in Galapagos, and maybe 20 of them have this denominación de origen. And it's a certification of not only the origin, but also the quality. So that, and then they can sell it a bit high price because it's high quality, right? And it's a good system, but it still existed the bad people from continent that buy it and mix it and sell to the Galapagos coffee. And this is that farmer that we support is a good one because they plant the Scalesia forest, plant the seedlings, and also have a denominación de origen here. Yeah, and the quality is I'm not sure. I love coffee also, but I'm not the specialist barista, so I'm not sure. But I love the Galapagos coffee. But how can I say that Galapagos was made by the eruption of the volcano? So there are few soils. There are rocks and rocks, lava rocks there. So they can not produce many coffee beans. So and also there are many rules that you cannot use a pesticide or like that, many rules to protect the nature. So I think it's not easy to produce the coffee. Mm-mm.
It's kind of hard because what you said, Galapagos come from a volcano, so it's.
Mm-mm.
I understand.
Mm-mm.
That's really really interesting. Sorry, my dogs are playing. Sorry for the noise. That's really interesting, and believe me, before I go to Japan, I look for story and I saw kind of information about Galapagos, and it's really interesting about the coffee. I didn't know about it, so I'm like right now I'm really focused on it. It's really interesting, and like you said, we have no so good people with things. We don't appreciate what other countries have that are gold. At least for me, it's gold because first of all, there's not the same coffee as Japan as the same coffee in Honduras. So it's really interesting. So right now you were explaining to me, I didn't know about that of coffee. So it's really, really nice.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias, Zoila.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay.
¿Alguien más? Andrea, Tommy, son libres de opinar, de abrir el micrófono cuando quieran, algún comentario, alguna pregunta.
Yo, perdón, quedamos aquí.
Adelante, sí.
¿Cómo está? Mi nombre es Andrea de Ecuador. Creo que aquí todos hablamos español.
Ah, Ecuador.
Entonces, no.
Akiko is learning Spanish, actually.
Okay,
Yes,
so you
that's the
want
reason I
to
speak
speak
English,
English?
because Akiko.
It's okay,
I
it's okay,
remember
it's okay.
Akiko.
Okay, so I just want to say that it was so amazing to hear things about my country. It's really weird for us to hear things about Ecuador. We're always there. So I'm really excited about this conference and seeing old friends like the old ambassador and everyone. It was so good. So
Wow.
I first want to congratulate you about all the efforts that you're doing for our country. It's really great. I'm so grateful.
Thank you.
Thank you. 本当にありがとうございます。
ありがとうございます。
And
Nice.
that I hope that we also in the mainland can help you out in those efforts to conserve such a precious gem that we have in this part of the continent. So we're always open to learn more, and if you need help or everyone, so please reach us. I'm so happy to hear about the efforts, and it's not small because I heard like, this is a small effort. No, it's a lot, and we are so grateful about it. So I just want to say that. Thank you so much.
Thank you. I love Ecuador.
Gracias, Andrea. Thank you. ¿Alguien más?
¿Me escuchan? Can you hear me?
Sí, sí,
Good
adelante.
evening. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Is Cassie Company still made the donations to Galapagos Islands from the souls of the watchers?
Yeah. How do you say? I couldn't hear. How did you say?
Could you repeat the question, Satomi?
Yes. My question is Cassie Company still made the donations to Galapagos Islands from the souls of the watchers?
Yes. This year we received, and I sent the donation to the Childline Foundation, and even they increased the donation, and we have a plan for this year, this year, 2025, and they will release 2 models more, and the donation also.
Okay, thank you very much. I have another question. I have in the image of the diapositives, yes, in the Galapagos Coffee Project. I saw a giant turtle in the greenhouses.
Yeah.
So I want to know what the giant turtle made in the greenhouses in
the coffee farm?
Yes, in the coffee project, correct.
In the Scalesia forest, in the giant turtles is there, but the different place, the more humid place in there are many giant tortoises in a more humid area, so they don't eat the coffee seedlings, and also they don't bother the coffee production. But there are many land birds in coffee forest, Scalesia forest, and it's a beautiful scenery there. All the endemic species there in the coffee and Scalesia forest.
Okay, thank you. I have a comment. I consider that I consider that your work is very, very important and beautiful because I love the nature too.
Yeah.
And I would like to go to the Galapagos Island someday.
Yes.
Vente,
Yes,
Satomi, vente.
welcome. You know Andrea because I met Andrea. We traveled together to Japan in our Juntos trip.
Wow, nice.
Yeah, so I consider too that you made big efforts connecting big companies from Japan to Galapagos Island.
Nice.
Okay,
Let's
that's
love
perfect.
Galápagos.
Yeah. Okay. So vamos. Let's go to Galapagos.
Vamos todos a Galápagos,
Sí.
todos. Bueno, entonces muchas gracias nuevamente a
Muchas
todas
gracias.
por sus aportes. Les recordamos, ahí compartimos el link para que puedan llenar una pequeña encuesta. Estos espacios están hechos para ustedes, así que esperamos ansiosos que nos puedan comentar qué les pareció, qué podemos mejorar. Entonces, eso ya nos ayuda para para el siguiente ciclo de charlas que tendremos próximamente. Así que esperamos ahí sus comentarios. Y bueno, por último, como ya saben, queremos sacar una foto final, una final picture. Entonces, si es que sus cámaras lo permiten, su internet, pueden prender sus camaritas para sacar una foto final, la última del ciclo, pero no es para siempre, es solamente hasta pronto. Así que vamos a la voz de tres y después hacemos en japonés, como siempre, ¿sí? En español ahora. 1, 2 y 3. Ok, perfecto. Ahora vamos a una más, pero ya en japonés y como ustedes saben, necesito que me ayuden a contar en japonés. Así que les escucho para sonreír todos. ¿Quién va a contar? ¿Cómo? Perdón, otra
Ya
vez.
no había aplazados aquí.
Yo voy a decir
Aprendimos los saludos. Y todo.
Ok, pero todos juntos
Okay.
entonces. Ok.
Ya. Entonces, 1, 2,
Y
3.
muy bien. Muchísimas gracias nuevamente. Thank you very much again. Y esperamos
Muchas
encontrarnos
gracias.
muy pronto. Ya van a saber de nosotros seguramente por vía correo electrónico, por todo lo que siempre el Juntos Alumni tiene para ofrecer. Soy la
No.
grupos
Se quedó
anteriores.
free.
Oye,
Se
Ok.
quedó free.
Sí, ese soy yo, ¿verdad?
ya está bien.
Ok. Bueno,
Okay.
nada más agradecerles nuevamente. Pueden ver la grabación en nuestro canal de YouTube. Y bueno, tengan muy buena tarde, buena noche. And good day for you on the other side of the
Bye,
world. Have a nice
equipo.
day.
Gracias. Chao, chao.
Gracias,
Bye,
Stephanie.
gracias.
Bye bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
Gracias a todas.
ありがとうござ
Buenas
いまし
noches.
た。
ありがとうございました。
ありがとうございました。ありがとう